You're listening to Best Forevers, a podcast for kindred spirits, a podcast that encourages you to love more on your friends and to further consider the issues that plague friendships. I'm Alysa Lucas, and I'm here with my in-group, Claire, to talk about a book from her young adulthood called The Clique by Lisi Harrison. So, Claire, how does it feel to be part of the in-group?
Amazing, as I would expect in any in-group situation.
You're living the high life. You're thriving.
High roller in that in-group.
What if I said, I'm here with my out-group, Claire?
Walking right out that door. See you later, buddy.
Ferguson is like getting up right now and he's like, you can't leave.
Good luck getting by me, girl.
We got serious security here.
Yes.
There's a table in front of the door. You got Ferguson, and I'm sure Rooney, my other
Throw
cat,
some elbows. It's hockey playoffs.
I'm sure she'll come from the bed that she's on upstairs enjoying and come down here and make you stay.
She'll stare me down. She won't do much else.
She'll be like, here, let me get the door for you. Have a nice
See you
day. Bye. Oh, but Claire and I are living the tired life because it's the Monday after the semester ended. And so I just finished grading and she graduated.
I did it, folks.
She did. She made it, and it's going to be amazing. Because what are you doing this summer?
I'm going to Scotland this summer.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Right? What are you doing this
Again,
summer?
no one likes to show off.
I'm getting a mic this summer.
Oh, yeah, we are going to be able to record because here's the thing. Claire's leaving, and so we are recording a few things for both Fatalities and Best Forevers this week before she leaves. And Ferguson is running away right now because he's so sad. Way to go.
Sorry, Ferguson, to leave you in the corn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, he's going to go cry in his big pillow over there now. But that's great. So we can continue the Best Forevers book club series, which is what we're doing today. This is our 5th episode in the series. And so just as a reminder, Claire is a repeat offender. That's a great pun. And this series of episodes focuses on each of us picking a book from our childhood or young adulthood, making the other one read it. I mean, Claire, has made me read some really long ones. This one today was pretty short and, bless your heart.
I channeled you and I picked an easy one.
Thank you. Well, yeah, during finals week, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
And then we get together after we make each other read the books and we talk about themes related to friendship. And we've read a lot of fun, some clean, some scandalous books from my childhood, from the 80s and 90s, and from Claire's childhood, which I assume is the 2000s.
Yep, I was like 3 in the 90s at most, so.
Cool.
Sorry?
Thanks for making everyone in the room feel bad. And by everyone, I mean me.
That just means I get excluded from millennial culture, which I think is unfair.
Oh, out-group.
Yeah, there you go. Found my out-group.
And, why are we talking about that? Because this episode focuses on the out-group. But last time we did Lois Duncan's I Know What You Did Last Summer. And we did a cross episode with Fatalities where it focused on Lois Duncan's book that she wrote about her daughter who was murdered when she was 18. And right now that is currently the most downloaded show for Fatalities. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of the cases that people might know who Lois Duncan is, or they haven't heard of the case and want to know more, but that one has been doing well, so we must have done a good job. I think that's the one where I accidentally drank black tea at 9 p.m.
And you were just wired.
I was wired, and then I didn't sleep a wink. And you know why I know what you did last summer? Because I didn't sleep, and I was just watching and taking notes. But this time, because that book was from my childhood, so we're back to Claire. And so, Claire, can you tell us a little bit about the series that you chose for us?
I chose the first book in the Clique series, which is entitled The Clique by Lisi Harrison.
Original.
Yes, very original. And it's one that I read every single book in the series because they were all relatively quick reads. And as a middle schooler, it's like, well, I can just devour these in a month and move on. Yeah, I'll just read all of them in a month and we'll move on.
Oh, all of them. I thought you meant a book.
No.
And I was about to be like,
oh, no, I'd read one of these
2
a
hours
week.
to read, and I know I'm 40, but a month. Come on, kids.
And these are also the only books my sister and I both read because she's not a reader and I am. So we always had a soft spot for these.
Bonded over the Clique.
Yeah, which may not have been the best for our formative little brains, but it's okay.
I think there's lots to learn here.
Yeah, but can you be critical as a 12-year-old though of what you're being exposed to? So.
No. Probably not. But yeah, no, I was pretty excited when she said this because this is a book I used to own because I wanted to read it because it was about friendship. And then I don't have it up in my library. It makes it sound like
You have wall-to-wall books.
I'm like the Beauty and the Beast library on the second
Yes.
floor of this duplex in Mount Pleasant. I don't think so. But like I have 2 bookshelves. Everyone relax. I have 2 bookshelves. I call it the library. Okay.
Yes.
And I had it there. It wasn't there anymore. So I must have given it away or sold it or something like that. So both Claire and I have new copies because you got rid of yours too.
Some kid lucked out at a garage sale and got every single book in the series. I'm sure my mom did like a bundle deal and like got them for like $5 for all of them.
$5?
For all of them. It's like 20-something books.
It's 20 bucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a long series.
Wow. So I guess if I got attached to this, I'm in for the long haul.
Yeah. Well, you read it in 2 hours, so maybe like a month.
Maybe I could say, how many books did you read this year? 24? 4 between January and May, and then 20, the Clique series between May and December. No, it'd probably take me longer. Just because I keep falling asleep while I read. So I'm just tired. But, so, and then I had a friend bought me the second one, and what is it called? It's got a funny name.
Dial L for Loser? Is that it?
Dial L for Loser?
Is that
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
But that sounds... Oh, there it is. Okay.
See?
So you got the Clique. The one I have is Best Friends for Never, which sounds like, Best Forevers, but it's Best Nevers. And you have The Revenge of the Wannabes, Invasion of the Boy Snatcher, The Pretty Committee Strikes Back. It's got like playoff like actual movie titles.
Yeah.
Dial L for Loser. It's Not Easy Being Mean. Sealed with a Disc. Brat Fest at Tiffany's. Whoever came up with these titles.
Killer.
Yeah, these are just amazing. So because Claire picked the book, it's my turn to read the back of the book.
Yes.
So I get to read the back cover. And it says, Meet the Clique. And before I continue, there's a ... which is pretty common in the book series that we've been reading.
Our favorite punctuation.
Yes, the ellipses. But I want to warn you because one of the main characters' names is Massey, not Macy.
Yeah. Fun little wrinkle to that one.
And I was like, what in the fresh? But what?
How did I describe it to you? I was like,
It's like Massachusetts. And I was like, did I miss that part in the book? And you're like, no, I just did that for your learning. I was like, her parents named her Massachusetts? I mean, for those of you named Massachusetts, thanks for tuning in to Best Forevers.
All one of you.
All one of you. And is your nickname Massey? But okay, so here we go. Meet the Clique, Massey Block. With her glossy brunette bob and laser whitened smile, Massey is the uncontested ruler of the Clique. And that's the Clique is capital T, capital C. And the rest of the social scene at Octavian Country Day School, an exclusive private girls' school in Westchester, New York. Massey knows you'd give anything to be just like her. Well, that's presumptuous. Then we have Dylan Marvel, Massey's second in command, who divides her time between sucking up to Massey and sucking down Atkins diet shakes.
Ew.
Sucking in, sucking out. Okay. Or sucking up, excuse me. Can you suck out? That doesn't.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. So the third member of the Clique is Alysa Rivera. And as sneaky as she is beautiful, Alysa floats easily under adult radar because she seems so sweet. Would love to take Massey's throne one day, just might. And that immediately made me think of the Game of Thrones. Do 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 do. You got all these girls going for like the Iron Throne at school.
Yeah. The silver-plated throne.
Oh my god, that would actually be an interesting like spin-off of girl tropey shows.
Yeah.
But like have a Game of Thrones spin.
Yeah, because they did Game of Thrones, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have Kristen Gregory. She's smart, hardworking, and will salt you to tears faster than you can say, quote, my haircut isn't ugly, end quote. Wow, Kristen. Bring it down several notches.
She'll cut you down.
I guess so. And she'll probably just say in response, sucks to suck. Enter Claire Lyons, the new girl, not to be confused with Claire, who's sitting across the table for me.
Yeah, this was a weird one for me as a child.
It's like Inception or something. Yeah. So enter Claire Lyons, the new girl from Florida in Keds and 2-year-old Gap overalls, who is clearly not Clique material. Unfortunately for her, Claire's family is staying in the guest house of Massey's family's huge estate while they look for a new home. Claire's future looks worse than a bad Prada knockoff. But with a little luck and a lot of scheming, Claire might just come up smelling like Chanel number 19. The Clique, ... The only thing harder than getting in is staying in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ferguson's like, what? So usually we start with the person reading it for the first time. What do they think?
Yes.
And I am drinking... Oh, God. I can't talk about this mug now either.
Oh, no.
I'm drinking out of a flower mug that says Savage AF because I think that's the way that we present cliques and young girls in middle school. And that's what it really focuses on, is that they are embracing the fact that they're in a clique and that it is an in-group and everyone else is on the out-group, and how they can continue to maintain their in-groupness and how they can keep people out of it. And so I found, like, it does fall in those lines of how we see girls' friendships, that it's, like, stereotypically cliquey.
Yeah.
And so you do see a lot of mean things happening. And so that I'm like, oh, this makes me sad. But at the same time, I'm like, if someone can learn something from it, like, don't do this.
Right. You
do that.
hope people are learning from it. Yeah.
Yeah, but some of the things they did to each other was kind of just like scandal. And I liked all the early 2000s references, like a Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
And about Donald Trump that wasn't have anything to
that
do.
did not hold up well.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with politics. So, Claire, what did you think about on your reread?
It was interesting to go back for sure, because I didn't remember. I don't think I knew it was like kind of savage and like very like cutthroat, but I didn't remember it being that cutthroat.
Yeah.
So that was like an interesting reread. And I was like, ooh, was I critical of this as a kid, or was I like all into it? Because I was like really into the books, but like, why was I into it?
Yeah. And one of the things is I feel like I can relate to the Claire character in here who's trying to get into this clique, and it's like,
I love my kids. This Claire also loves kids.
I had kids. Here's a side story. When I wasn't it's also a sad story, but side and sad. So I also had many kids growing up, those wonderful white shoes. Mm-hmm. And I think I wore them without laces even at one time, because it was very 90s. And these girls that were older than me, I think I was in the 6th grade, they were making fun of me. And one of the girls took my shoes and wouldn't give them back to me. What? And I was like, cool.
I guess I'm walking home barefoot.
Cool. No, it was before school started.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was just like everyone was out in the halls or whatever. And I just remember like a vice principal or someone, a teacher or something, was like, give her, like, they gave the shoes back and they're like, who did it? And I was like, snitches get stitches. So I never told all the girls. I don't remember what their names are now, but yeah. Not starting out middle school in a good way when people are trying to steal your kids. So apparently, if you want people to make fun of you and steal your shoes and, you know,
not include you in anything,
then wear Keds.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't have Keds until I was older. Like, I had Keds in college.
Oh, they're like popular now.
Yeah. My Keds are like gray jersey material, so they're not
Nice.
like the traditional Keds, but like they're still Keds.
Well, like the white, it's like you need to put sunglasses on. You're like, this is so bright.
I would have worn them today, but like the rain was
You didn't want to get them muddy.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
wet, just because they stay wet for a while.
So I think one of the things that can happen is, like, even as a young person, you might read it because you can relate to some of the characters, or you might want to see how you might be able to get into the in group, or how do you manage being in the out group, or that there just you might be in both situations and at different times. And so, but I do think in some ways that it can perpetuate the stereotypes that girls are catty and mean. And I think, you know, anyone can be mean, and I don't think that we should have that stereotype per se.
Right.
And
Yeah, I think it also felt like a heightened version of like my like school environment a little bit. Like like this is like a next level like money situation, but like I was from a more like affluent area, and like I didn't come off, I guess, as affluent as some of my peers. Yeah, so it was just really interesting to kind of go back into that realm and just kind of see like, oh wow, there are some parallels here to how I grew up a little bit. And like, I wasn't the kid that had the Prada handbag or the Lily Pulitzer dress like girls I went to school with. But
yeah, I think like where I went to school, it wasn't something where if you look at sort of the classic 80s movies, and I know you probably weren't alive then, but like Pretty in Pink, where you have like this huge scenario based around, they call them like the Richies and like the poor kids and that sort of thing. And so I don't feel like we had a lot of that. But so I think that there are a lot of clothes that were popular. Like when I was a kid in like middle school, Girbaud jeans were popular, a certain brand. Those puffy starter jackets with teams on it. I had these sweet Nikes that were really popular at the time. And I wanted a starter jacket, but I think that there have been a lot of incidents where kids' stuff was stolen. Like, I think in the situation with the kids, the girls were making fun of me.
Right.
And, like, they weren't stealing it. But so they didn't want to get me any of those things. But so I don't think it was, like, Prada, but it was, like, Girbaud jeans.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
There's still expectations or trends or other things to live up to. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of dive into the plot of this particular book, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what we thought in terms of friendship. So would you like to start, or would you like me to? I don't remember what we do.
I don't either.
I'll go.
Sounds good.
So Massey... I'm sorry. I'm still mad about that. Massey has plans with her 3 best friends to go shopping, but her mom won't let her go because mom is mean. That's where she gets it from. No, just kidding. That's where the stereotype comes from. And she can't go because the family of her dad's friend is moving into their guest house, and Massey has some serious FOMO, fear of missing out, about the time her friends are going to spend together. There's Shirley to make new inside jokes, and she'll know nothing about it. And she really hates the idea of being left out and not being this, like, she's in the in-group, but she's going to be out for this particular day. And so that seems problematic. So instead, Massey is forced to spend the day trying to chit-chat with Claire. God, Claire. No, just kidding.
I know, I'm the worst.
The Lyons family, which includes Claire's parents and her brother Todd, and to eat lunch with them. Can you even imagine the audacity of this mom?
Spend time with this new girl who's moving to town and has no friends. Like, be nice. Maybe.
And she's all like, Mom, stop matchmaking. Right?
Yeah.
So to pass the boredom, she texts with her friend Alysa under the table, but her mom forbids phones at the table, so instead she tells Massey to show Claire her room. Now, for me, these kinds of interactions are really uncomfortable because it's like you don't really know each other. And you don't know what, like, Claire's situation is. And Claire can kind of guess coming into this huge estate. So she's going into this girl's bedroom. And right now, like, her parents can't afford a house. So they're staying in the guest house. So it already sets it up as, like, there's a money difference or a status difference between them. And then you just have the idea that, like, Massey is familiar and already established in this particular area. So specifically, Claire seems to be interested in being nice to Massey, and since she is new, she also seems to be interested in making friends. However, Massey is not about that at all. She has the clique. She has the clique, and that's all she needs. And from Massey's point of view, Claire wouldn't fit in with them anyways. Like, not with your kids. And I'm saying that not to Claire here, but, like, to Claire in the book.
Fictional Claire.
Fictional Claire. Yes, thank you. And so she doesn't think Claire would fit in, and so she might as well look for some other friends. And I kind of think, like, knife to the heart. Like, ouch.
Straight shooter. Okay. Like, don't bring it to her nicely.
Yeah, it's kind of, like, right out the gate. It's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Right? So to get some time away from all these, I call them inconveniences, having to talk to new people, having lunch, that sort of thing, Massey's driver, Isaac, takes her to ride her horse, Brownie. On a private trail, she's talking to her horse, who I think you can see some, like, human to animal bonds there.
Yeah.
Like, she can say anything she wants to Brownie. So she's on this private trail, and then out of nowhere, some guy on a horse scares both Massey and Brownie by racing past them very closely. And so Massey and Brownie go after them. No one scares me and my horse.
Nope.
And this is when Massey meets Chris.
Abley, I think?
Abley. Yeah. Sure, let's do it. A cute boy from Briarwood Academy, and he's an older boy. She's about to start 7th grade, and he's starting 9th, I think.
9th or? Yeah.
I think he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Chris says he'll be back riding next week, and it's a date if Massey shows up, right? So it's a date, right? So at first she's like, "Who is this guy?" And then she's like, "Oh, well,
Never
he's
mind.
attractive. Never mind." Right? So the days seem to turn around for Massey. When she gets home, she talks to her dad before going to bed. School's about to start, and Dad is looking for 2 things. 1, give the Lyons family a chance. That includes mainly Claire, right?
Yeah.
And 2, to reinstate their nightly walks at 8:15 p.m. So every night at 8:15, they go for a 15-minute walk. And that is with Massey and her dog, Bean.
Yeah, her little tiny black pug that I was like, I want that dog. Right?
Pugs are the best. So at the end of the day, Massey likes to reflect on her days, but she doesn't like to keep a journal because a journal is so 1994. I don't know.
That's lame.
That's lame. But she does instead. I don't know if this means she's going to be a future politician or what. Instead, she does the current state of the union. And so this is where she has a list of things that are in that day and things that are out that day. So here are the things that are in and then out. So Chris Abley is in. He's hot.
All right.
He's cute.
Hot boy on a horse. Let's go.
Exactly. What's out? Claire Lyons. Although I never think she was in, but it's not my...
She's firmly out now.
Not my current state of the union. In public trails, where she can see that cute boy on a horse. Mm-hmm. Out private trails, where she won't run into said cute boy. Right? Mm-hmm. In horses. Out lions, but not lions like the animal. Lions like the family.
Burn.
So if we were to do our current state of the union, what things would be in for you today and what is out for you today?
In is summer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Woohoo!
Out, school.
Yes.
Literally.
School's out for the summer.
Well, school's out for you for at least a while.
Yeah, like a year-ish, probably. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, what else is in?
Hockey. Sure.
Out, basketball?
I guess.
No, it's still going. I like basketball.
Yeah.
Out, football. Not happening right now. So.
No. And I'm never really into it anyway, so.
Rude. All right. In, dogs. Out, the cats that are making a ruckus while we're trying to record. I'm looking at you, Ferguson, so that you can turn around and look at Rooney. Give her the eye that I'm giving you. I would say in, naps.
Yes.
Out, working 12 hours a day.
All-nighters.
Yeah. What else you got? Anything else in?
Books.
What's out? Schoolwork.
What? Research papers.
I think it's kind of, even though she's like journaling is lame, I just think it's like highlights. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of an easy thing to do. And so that's what she's doing. So basically, her year is off to a good start. But meanwhile, Claire cannot sleep as she gets ready to start a new year away from all of her friends who live in Florida. Claire, take it away.
Claire barely touches her food the next morning at breakfast and gets the nerdy lion's roar speech from her mom.
What do lions do?
Roar! I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom. I love
That's
Amy
what
Poehler.
that vibe is. Right. Before she gets the lion's roar speech from her mom before heading out to the driveway to catch a ride to school from Isaac. Claire has her lunch in her bag, her Gap white pants, and Cad's on, so she's ready to go. And her camera, so yep, she's
all set. She's got all the necessities.
She's gonna document this whole journey.
Why can't I say necessities?
Simple bare necessities.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, she is set for a day at a new school. So she thinks.
I don't think she's ready at all.
No. Unfortunately, Massey did not know Claire was riding along, so now the entire Clique trip in the car is going to be ruined by her.
Way to go.
Wah, wah. The morning commute's over and ruined. And honestly, Claire didn't know the Clique would be getting a ride as well. Massey doesn't hold back, making Claire feel stupid for what she's wearing, what she's eating, and what she's doing. She is hypercritical.
Yeah, seriously, like the girl can't... Are you breathing right now?
Like, find some chill, would you? Like, let her exist. We meet each member of the Clique as Claire does. We learn about their fancy homes, their fancy clothes, their fancy hair, and other superficial information.
Like their makeup.
Yes. All the stuff my sister was very into.
Well,
like
the thing is, it's okay to be into those things,
yeah.
But it's like we don't really learn too much else about them.
Right. There's not depth to them beyond how they look. Yeah.
At least not at this point.
Yeah. We learn as we go.
Yeah.
So the first girl in the car is Alysa Rivera. I always say Riviera, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
Rivera. The most beautiful girl wearing vintage Ralph Lauren, lives in a house with gates and guards.
Wait, her name's Alysa. Is that from the movie? I thought it was Alicia.
Is it Alicia? I might have said that.
Oh,
wrong.
No, I thought it was Macy, but it was Massey. So I was like, can you tell me?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think that's how I always read it.
Dylan?
Kirsten. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was just asking because Massey was
Right.
different than
Yeah.
what I was
I
expecting.
don't remember. I think I always read it that way, but I might have been wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those like Draco Malfoy situations where I thought it was Draco for like the first 3 years of my life.
It's like on Game of Thrones, instead of saying Sansa, like, or Cersei, they can't say their names correctly on the people who created the show. Don't say their names right on the behind the scenes videos they show. And I'm like,
geez.
Dude, do you not know who's on the show?
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah. The next girl in is Dylan Marvel.
Dylan.
Oh, gosh. She's redheaded, wearing Louis Vuitton backpack and Us Weekly in her bag and a nutrition bar.
So she's the one who likes to suck down Atkins shakes.
Very health conscious in the worst way.
Her mom makes her focus on that.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
And then the last girl up is Kristen Gregory. After stepping out of a luxury building, she takes off her sporty outfit that covers her miniskirt and she changes in the car.
Yeah, so she isn't following the rules at home.
Nope. I had a friend like that, though. I would pick her up 2 blocks from her house, and she'd have to change in my car because she wasn't allowed to wear shorts to school. So, yeah.
Dang, throwing all the tea today, spilling it all.
Yep.
Who is it?
Shout out to Labany.
Oh, you're about to get in trouble. You in danger, girl.
Her sister was the rebel child out of the 2 of them, so she's fine.
The most rebellious thing I did was wear shorts to school.
Let my friend drive me.
Yeah.
It was a awkward car ride in general. First point that made it awkward, Claire was made to sit in the back, so the girls sat as a clique together.
And all I wrote was, I mean.
Yeah, all right. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess, like, first person should get in the back because then you're able to let everybody else in and not climbing over everybody, but still. Second point that makes it weird is Claire's eating chips and gummy worms, and it's made fun of.
What's wrong with that stuff?
I mean, it is pretty early in the morning, but, like, I like gummy worms.
She didn't eat breakfast. She was nervous.
Yeah. Claire takes photos when she shouldn't and is made fun of for it.
She takes pictures of the girls' houses.
Yeah, I see a trend. Claire is talked about via text by the Clique. Do we like her? Thumbs down. All right. And Claire is made fun of by the Clique for wearing Keds. Kristen says, better dead than Ked. All right. I like my Keds. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, the white ones, like, you kind of need them to, like, you wear in just a touch, so it's not too, like, blah.
Blinding.
Yeah, exactly. So they arrive, and when Claire sees the expansive and plush school she'll be attending, and I could also probably put in there expensive, she gets nervous, and when that happens, she sings my favorite things from The Sound of Music.
Adorable.
Yeah. Duh. Wait, no, that's a different one.
That's a different one. These are a few of my favorite things.
And it's like, then I don't feel so
bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite things? Tell us.
Rain boots. I like that song's Raindrops on Roses. I like rain boots on my feet.
I like cats that don't make a ruckus when I'm trying to record.
We can't get everything we want.
This is why we can't have nice things. But yeah, so she does that. And I think it's, it's just one of those things where, we have our own things that make us feel better.
Self-soothing.
Yeah, but sometimes she's like, says it out loud and people are like, what are you doing? But what's even funnier, if you think that's funny, what's funnier is that after the clique gets out, Isaac drives away.
With Claire still in the car.
She's still in the car.
Oops.
Like, talk about feeling
like a nobody.
Invisible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's like, I thought you got out.
That's the best way to
Does it look like I got out? Right. I'm still back here, but she's all the way back in basically the trunk.
Yeah. Best way to say you don't matter. Drive off that you getting out of the car.
But he does go after Massey and say, like, she was still in the car, you need to help her and that sort of thing. He kind of gets on Massey's case.
Yeah, he goes toe to toe with her in a way that no one else really does.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where she gets some of that, where she might get any discipline is from her driver, right? So she gets out of the car and she goes to class. Okay. But after second period, the clique meets outside by the Starbucks kiosk in their school. And we learn about gossip points. And so it's like when anyone gives gossip, they assign them on a points, like how juicy is that gossip, I guess. So like, oh, that's 2 points.
Like, do you have a spreadsheet? That's what I want to know. Are we actually keeping track?
I mean,
I don't remember.
if this is going to be a competition, I guess so. But it's also like when you do something like that, that encourages people to share other people's information, right? Or that would indicate that's how you can get into the clique or into the in-group is by sharing other people's information.
You buy your way in.
You buy your way in with these clique points gossip points, right? It's like, yeah. And then we learn more about Chris, the cute guy on the horse, and Claire's nearby. And Massey says, quote, Claire, did I invite you to my barbecue? No. Why are you all up in my grill? And
Burn, girl.
Good. I mean, when I was in high school, people my age would play a game called Snaps, and it's just like where they would just insult each other, and some of them might be like, your mama jokes, your mom's so fat, how fat is she? You know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, Snaps are just like going back and forth and roasting each other. And I would just be like, oh, people are roasting each other. It looks like I need to go way over there so people don't roast me because I'm 12 and my kids got stolen at school and I'm probably ready to cry at any given second.
Accurate. I feel that.
So Massey is being mean to Claire, so she fires back. Ooh. Claire says, quote, are you a female dog? Because you're acting like a real bitch. End quote.
Ooh, she got you.
And then Massey texts the clique and tells them Claire called them bitches. And they all decide to essentially vote her off the island.
Survivor style?
Survivor style, which was probably popular when these books were out.
Yes.
So third period's art class, Alysa was saving a seat for Kristen, but the teacher tells Claire to sit down, and the seat closest to her is the one next to Alysa. And so when Kristen comes in, she has to sit at the front of the classroom. So Alysa seems to be nice as they spend about 15 minutes painting tomatoes. But at the end of class, the art teacher gives Claire a note and sends her to the nurse. She gets fake directions from Alysa and Kristen, because why not? And when she finally finds the office and arrives, the nurse thinks that she's had her period. And Claire's like, no, I didn't. Well, that's what this note says. And you have blood on the back of your pants. Nope, that was Alysa who painted with the red tomato paint on
her white Gap jeans.
On her white Gap jeans. So rude. Don't ruin people's clothes. Like, yeah, you might wear an outfit once and then give it away.
Like Kleenex. Yeah. Throw it out.
Yeah, it's like let her, she's been wearing these for 2 years. Like, it's like, leave people alone. So she's like, no, it was just red paint. And the nurse lets her go through the lost and found, which is like super fancy pants because this is a really plush school. So she walks out like with a way more expensive outfit than she did going in. Mm-hmm. She comes out like boots and pants and all these kinds of stuff.
The nurse is like, no one wants these because they're last season. I'm like, can I have them? Yeah, I'm with Claire. Like, give me all of these free clothes that no one wants.
Yeah, like she just came out so well dressed. So, and I'm just like, that's a yikes, right? All this is yikes. And then she has to go to lunch.
Oof.
Which I'm like, is there anything worse than being in middle school or high school and having to go to the lunchroom?
And not knowing where to sit.
And you
we
don't
had assigned
anyone.
Tables.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or like have like a buddy table where, there might be a couple people who are assigned there. They might do it for volunteer work, and then they can interact with people who don't have anyone to sit with. But then people will probably get made fun of for doing that. It's like, you can't win here because people are mean.
Yeah.
And I just think that the lunchroom can be just a cruel situation. But Claire is savvy. She knows that it's important to sit at an important table. And she chats with some gals that have a camera like her. So she finally decides on a table because Massey's not going to let her come over to their table.
Oh, no.
And some other people just don't look like she would be welcomed. And then she sees someone with the same camera as her. And so she brings that up. And this is when she meets Lane. And she shares some gossip about the clique. And I think specifically they're interested because, as Massey had talked about, like in the description on the back cover, that she knows that people want to be like her, and Lane is one of those people who would like to be Massey's friends and be like her. So she knows all this, but she's talking to Lane, so it's like good that she's making a friend. And Massey doesn't seem very happy with it. Like, it's almost like she just truly wants this girl to be alone and miserable.
Right.
But Lane and Claire make plans to see a movie on Friday, so she's making a friend.
Yeah, she is. After school, the clique hides in the bushes in front of Briarwood Academy.
Obviously.
To catch a glimpse of Chris Abley. Classic. Scope out the guy you like with the help of your friends. And binoculars. Like,
it's a little intense.
That they borrowed, quote unquote, from the science lab.
Yeah.
And Dylan is staining her lips red from eating cherries. Which... classic move.
It's like very middle school.
Yes. Look at my natural lip color.
Yeah.
Look at this. Even though they can afford like the most expensive lipstick on the market,
Yeah.
like they still have like the middle school girl tendencies.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Massey's friends ask her a lot of questions about him setting the date. Did he make eye contact when he said it? Unfortunately, he dumped a Red Bull into the bush and Massey got covered in a sticky mess. The next morning at school, Massey puts on makeup and Dylan looks at her red-stained lips from the day before. They talk about the project Kristen has to do for her class while she has to start a business.
Yeah.
They muse about her starting a makeup line, which very on brand for them.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
If they're into it and they know a lot about it and they have like the real good stuff, then they would probably be able to help her create something really cool.
Yeah. Dylan suggests they call it homebody, products for the body made from home.
Duh.
Yes. After this productive meeting in the bathroom, Massey pulls out her Palm Pilot and enters her current State of the Union.
Palm Pilot.
The most 2000 sentence ever read.
Sorry.
Yes.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Claire's brother Todd is having a sleepover, and Claire wonders how he can already have maybe 12 friends to invite over for a night.
She's like, I can barely get people just to be polite to me.
Yeah, like I can't walk out of school without my paint on my pants. Like
Yeah.
we're not
people
winning.
making fun of my kids.
Yeah.
Rather be dead than kid.
But she has plans to go to a movie with Lane. But eventually she backs out, saying Todd is sick and that she needs to watch him.
Yikes.
So she can attend a slumber party with Massey and the Clique that Massey's mom invited her to.
Oh, Massey's going to be pissed. But also, I think this is the same thing. Like, going back to, people want to... It's like they know that Massey is the one who is sort of the Regina George of the school. She's the most popular. She's the one that kind of controls everything. Very Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. And like on that show, they have very much a hierarchy. And it seems at least this group is the group that's at the top. And people want to be their friends because if you're friends with them, then maybe they won't be mean to you. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the friend dynamic between them is not as pretty as you would like it to be.
Well, I definitely think in the movies that are similar that focus on these things like Heathers, Mean Girls, what's the other one I was thinking of? Oh, I blanked on it. But like I think a lot of those are very much like they're mean to each other. I thought they were a little bit nicer to each other.
Yeah.
But conflict came fast, as we'll see a little bit later.
So get ready for an awkward night at Massey's sleepover. When Claire arrives, everyone is folding clothes to donate for a charity event to help raise money for the scholarships at their school. Claire says she has stuff to donate, but they are immediately like, hands up, don't you dare bring any of your cheap Gap
Don't
clothes.
bring your kids here.
No. They don't want her
to make off of it like a nickel.
And their justification for not wanting her stuff is they actually want to make money.
So rude.
I know.
God, this is like 101 on how to make people feel horrible.
Yeah. Crash course, if you were ever wondering.
Yeah, exactly.
Massey was so mad about her mom inviting Claire and trying to do matchmaking, she hides in the pantry with Town and Country magazine, and she won't come out until her mom goes to bed.
And I showed her what?
Yes.
Take that, Mom.
I'm going to pout in a corner until you go to sleep. Who's the real winner?
Mom.
Yes. Always. Mom wins. She returns to her sleepover and they're playing Would You Rather. And there's only enough sleeping bags for the Clique.
So Claire doesn't even have a sleeping bag.
Even though she was promised one. She's like, oh yeah, we have plenty of sleeping bags. Don't worry about bringing that. Like, it'll be all set. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Alysa asks Claire, what would you rather be? A friendless loser or a person with a ton of friends who secretly don't like you?
Oh, well, let's pause there. Which one do you pick?
I would rather be a friendless loser. I don't like fake people.
Yeah. I just think that there's ways to be... You can continue to work on finding friends, or if they're not human friends, you can make friends with furry creatures like Rooney here, who's plopped down between the two of us. But like, yeah, why would you can't trust people who are mean to you or talk about you.
Who secretly don't like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have my best interest at heart if you don't like me. Like, why would you don't care about me?
Yeah.
So you're not my friend.
Exactly.
Are they really friends?
But I do think... Well, no, continue, and then I'll jump in because there's something I did want to say.
So before Claire arrived, Massey wanted to answer the same question with a second option so she wouldn't be alone. But the Clique replies that they all want to be friendless losers. And Claire picks the second option. And wow, I said Alysa. Yeah.
That doesn't happen ever. Yes. Take that, Alicia.
Alicia replies with something about, well, you're halfway there, so you just need friends.
So mean.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that both Massey and Claire wanted to answer the same way. And I think what they have in common is that they do want friends and they do want to be included. And so if that means being with people who aren't nice to you, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Which
I'd rather be with people who hate me.
Come to my TED Talk.
Yes.
I will help you figure this out.
Yes. We'll sort this out. Dr. Alysa will fix it.
Dr. Alicia? What? No, I'm just kidding.
Never. They chat longer and then they fall asleep. As Massey tries to fall asleep, she notices Claire getting up and leaving. Claire doesn't want to be there anymore, but Massey does try to give her a flashlight to walk back to the guest house.
So it's like Massey was kind of being like nice to her at that point, but it's like after being so rude to her, why would she want to stay?
Right.
So it starts to get worse. I mean, it's already bad. So the next day, Lane was coming over to get Claire because of rescheduled plans, and she learns fast that Lane is... Well, actually, this is good, and then it goes bad, because I think this is an interesting twist of events.
Yeah.
So the next day, Lane comes over, because they were going to go out Friday. They rescheduled for Saturday, and Claire learns fast that Lane is Chris's brother.
Sister. Chris's sister. Lane is a girl.
No, I said it wrong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Lane is Chris's sister.
Yeah, but I was thinking I said Chris first.
Chris. Yeah, Chris is Lane's brother.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I was like,
sorry.
what?
I mean, I just said it backwards.
Anyway, Lane and Chris are related.
Yeah, they're siblings. And that Chris, when this is maybe the more important part, has a girlfriend. Scandal.
Oh, no.
So basically... She also learns that Chris really likes her younger brother, Todd, because Todd was throwing raisins at people at school, and it hit, like, an administrator of some sort, and then Chris got detention, and Claire's like, oh, do you want to come say hi to my brother?
He'd love that, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. And, like, the dad's probably like, no, we need to go, because the dad's driving, right? Because none of them are 16. And so he's like, yeah, but what she's trying to do is sort of traipse him by
Massey's window,
which is open because it's warm at the beginning of the year, you know? And so she sees everything and she's like, what is Claire doing with Chris? And she doesn't know about the girlfriend. She doesn't know that Lane and Chris are siblings. And so she's just like, what is going on? So basically it's like to sort of lead him by to make Massey feel bad. And so she's probably thinking of like all the things that they've said about me. This is just one way to get at them, right?
Yeah.
So after Chris says hi, he leaves so he can go off to meet Massey for some riding on the private trails. Like, why? You have a girlfriend. But I mean, even if, like, that shouldn't make a difference, but you should probably at least say that, especially if, you know, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think he just moved home from boarding school, so he's probably looking for new friends. Like, he's been away for a while, so he probably, like, genuinely thought Massey wanted to be friends, and, like...
And they have something in common, they ride horses.
Right,
so
he could be one of those oblivious guys who, like, doesn't, like, register that girls are, like, really into him, and, like, even though he has a girlfriend, he's so, like, secure in that relationship, he doesn't even think about it anymore. Yeah. It, like, doesn't occur to him. He's like, of course, I have a girl. Like, why would I want anything else?
Why? Yeah, exactly. But so they have a good time chatting, and some people reading it might say there was some flirting, like she takes his Yankees hat, and you know.
Yeah.
And then they make a second date, and that is to bring Lane, because she finds out that Lane is Chris's sister, obviously, when he walked by her window, and so she's like wants to see Chris again, so she's gonna do it through Lane. So I'll teach Lane how to ride next Saturday
because I'm such a goody two shoes, except when only when it benefits me.
Yeah. And so it's a date. That's what's going to happen. But later that week, Massey and Lane are getting pedicures together at a local nail salon. Of course, Massey is called in advance to be sure no one from school would be there and see them together. But she does need to spend time with Lane to continue to win over her brother Chris, right? So Massey is mean, though, in getting Lane there by basically brutally telling her, like, your feet are messed up, yo.
Let me help you fix them.
And it's just like, hey, can we make people feel bad? Like, I mean, just like, hey, let's get together. No, it has to be like, your feet are wrecked.
Yeah.
So Massey and Lane spend more time together, and what ends up happening is Claire and Lane are supposed to get together on Saturday, but Lane drops her so that she can go riding with her brother and with Massey. And Lane specifically, like Claire, wants to be friends with Massey. Like, there's this, like, attraction to being friends with this person, right? To be included, to be in the in-group. And so Claire's basically sitting around home, and her mom asks if she's okay, and she's like, I'm fine. But you can kind of sense that she is feeling left out, but she's starting to get used to it in some ways. It's almost like, well, this is just the way it is now. So she goes out to the pool where the rest of the clique is waiting for Massey, but she's still gone riding. So they're just waiting for her. They're going to have a meeting about Kristen's business, and now called the Glambition.
Which sounds like a mail subscription box for like makeup. Yeah. It's like one of those like month boxes you can subscribe. Yeah.
It sounds like something that already exists.
It probably does.
I'm going to Google it later.
Yes.
And so there's food and drink set up. I mean, it's always quite a show when they have people over. They're always hosting and things like that. And they have this all set up for the working meeting. And at first, they make fun of Claire's swimsuit. But Claire kind of digs back at him, and she makes up the name of a male designer named Ostrid. And they all, like, someone's like, oh, yeah, she's great. And Claire's like, it's a him. And then the other girls are like, how did you not know it was a him? And so they're all doubling down on something that Claire has completely made up. But at that moment, they believe she's wearing a designer, and it's almost like they're okay with her. And they end up, she jumps off the diving board, and they kind of get laughing about that, and then they play Britney Spears, and they're all having a great time.
Fun pool party.
Until Massey shows up, and Massey's like, Britney Spears, guys, are you serious? And she's irritated that they're having fun without her. So she calls Claire Lychee Lions. Okay, cool.
That's a stretch, but all right.
Yeah. And tells Kristen to throw salt on Claire because, quote, salt gets rid of leeches. Alysa puts salmon on her back because of the same reason.
Sure.
And Dylan pours gazpacho over Claire's head. And let's just talk about salt, salmon, and gazpacho.
Ugh,
like,
you're gonna reek.
Yeah. And Massey says, quote, Dylan, be careful. Those Target bathing suits are really hard to clean, end quote. And then, so they're all kind of laughing at Claire, making fun of what she's wearing, and just dumped all the stuff on her, and she's trying not to cry. And then Kristen changes the topic to Glambition, and Claire leaves.
Yeah. So later in the week, Claire decides to snoop in Massey's room when she's out for her evening walk with her dad and her dog Bean.
Oh, the black pug.
Yeah, so cute. The nicest thing about that girl is her dog. While on her secret mission into enemy territory, Massey's computer dings with an IM, and Claire decides to make a snap decision to catfish Alysa, who messaged her.
Which, catfish probably didn't exist as a word yet, but we're just going to apply it back.
Yes, retroactively applying.
Yes.
Claire pumps her own tires, acting as Massey, telling Alysa that Claire's cool now, and also tells her to wear the classic outfit of tights over shorts to school.
Shorts over tights.
Or shorts over tights.
Hey, we both got it. Yay! Even Stevens.
Yes. The tights and shorts look. Yes. To school the next day because she saw it in 17. Like, didn't you see it?
I must have missed that page.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The next day, Massey quickly finds out that she's been left out of the loop when all three of her friends and Claire are rocking what she sees as a fashion don't.
She's like, what is going on?
Happening? And then she quickly plays it off like, oh no, Bean scratched my tights this morning. That's why I'm not wearing it. Like, of course. Like, I had to change last minute.
Can I tell you, though, this reminds me of the situation I had when I was in elementary school when it was Purple Shirt Day, and I didn't get invited to that, and I wasn't quick on my feet like Massey was and been like, oh, I
spilled something on it.
Yeah, my breakfast. Yeah. So I feel your pain in this moment, Massey.
Yeah. Alysa gifts Claire one of her dad's old cell phones since she believes Claire is now in.
Because she was not allowed to have one.
Right. Or she didn't, or I don't think her parents could afford one because cell phones are expensive then still, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are now.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're talking like flip phones and Palm Pilots. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Dylan invites Claire to her swanky birthday party in New York City.
Hi.
When the girls step out of the car, Massey notes that this is the first time in her life that it appears like she is on the outside looking in.
Yes, because they've arrived to school and she's not wearing the outfit.
They all walk out. She called them the Crayolas. They had their heads held high.
Like they had like yellow tights,
green.
Yeah, they had all. What color tights would you wear, and what kind of shorts?
Probably blue, and I'd wear like a stripy blue and white short, so like it incorporates into the look.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Black on black.
Lame.
No. I probably wear black shorts, but then I would probably wear like a bright color.
Ooh, like highlighter, or like some kind of color.
Like maybe a pink or yellow for friendship.
There obviously. You go. Highlighter yellow. You could be a bumblebee.
And if I wear it with the kids, everyone's gonna have to have special glasses to look at me. I'm like,
gotta cut that glare.
Ah, it's so bright.
And like I feel bad for Massey in this moment for the first time because like she's never felt that way before, and like
but maybe she needs to.
Right, you hope that she learns from it. Which maybe we won't.
Yeah,
we'll see. When the girl, nope, I already read that. Do do do
do do do do do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do do. Okay, I'll stop.
Lane, with the poor timing, breaks the no talking in public rule that Massey put in place. And approaches Massey. She also gets flipped off and chewed out before she runs away crying because Massey terminated their friendship. She's like, I never liked you, blah, 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 the whole bit.
So rude.
Later in the week, Alicia, wow, I can't, her name, I don't know why. Alicia calls Claire while she waits for Massey to leave her room for her nightly walk and wants to gift her some of her mom's old clothes and invites her to go shopping for Dylan's birthday party.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, so Claire is definitely in now. She's being, like, offered things.
Yeah.
While talking to Alicia on the phone, Claire cuts off her friendship bracelets from her wrist. Because she had been wearing them from her friends in Florida, and I feel like that was a really significant, like, step. It's like she's leaving that life behind and kind of stepping into this, like, new glamorous
I also
world.
feel, though, like, before that, I think Massey made fun of them.
She
you
did.
still have them since when you were a kid?
Oh, cute.
Oh. It's kind of like Regina George. Oh, my God, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it? That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen, right? Like, that's it's totally that moment.
Yeah. Claire returns to Massey's room again and proceeds to message Dylan first as Massey and immediately preys on Dylan's insecurities with her body, telling her legs are too fat for miniskirts, which is so mean and something Massey would say.
Oh, like, God. Yeah, this might be where their roasting goes a little too far, but overall, I don't think they roast each other too much.
No.
It's more like, that's in, that's out, but it's not usually directly about them. So this is, like,
directly targeting.
Insulting, yeah.
The next day, the fallout of this exchange can be seen in Dylan's outfit choice, a long skirt and a baggy sweatshirt. Oh. Yeah. The following night, it's Kristen's turn to be catfished by Claire. Claire gets her to divulge a secret in exchange for a secret of Massey's. Claire, as Massey, tells Kristen that she's been hanging out not just with Chris Abley, but his sister Lane, with Claire bedazzling the story a little bit by saying Massey enjoys her time that she's been spending with Lane.
Bedazzled.
That's what my aunt says when my cousin, like, extends the truth a little too far. Like, you're bedazzling. Stop it.
Putting in some extra.
Yeah. Kristen, in return, reveals that her family lost all their money, and she is at OCD on a scholarship, which is why she's always concerned with her grades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Claire escapes Massey's room again, and Massey returns from her chilly evening walk. As she's wrapping up her dog like a baby, like a good dog mom, her computer dings and she checks her IMs. There are messages from Kristen telling her not to tell anyone, but Massey is beyond confused and kind of just leaves it there and goes to bed. The next morning, the girls are in their sports elective, which is tennis. Which I was like, really? All right. All of the girls are mad at Massey for all the things that Claire has said when she was catfishing them.
Yeah.
The argument escalates, and the girls accuse her of being best friends with Claire, Chris, and Lane instead of them, and ends with Massey standing alone for what she claims is the second time in her whole life. Aww. Determined not to be friendless, Massey goes on a campaign for new people to surround herself with. She's like just short of kissing babies. Like,
yeah, it is. She might be a politician. She's got the current State of the Union. What's out? Me. What's in? Hopefully new
me.
Friends.
Yeah. Hopefully me in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also for the first time in her life, Massey feels insecure and unsure of herself. She's questioning her choices and if people were judging her for how she was behaving. Like, is my laugh shrill? Like, did this person think my shoes are cool? Like, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
There's more to us than our kids, people. Well, or your
Milano's.
Yeah, exactly.
Massey gets picked up from school alone and lies to Isaac when he questions where her friends are. To really twist that knife, they drive by her 3 former best friends and Claire walking home together. Mm-hmm. When returning home, Massey runs up to her bedroom upset and she checks her emails and IM. Kristen had messaged her telling her that she wouldn't be needing a ride in the morning, and Massey pushes the issue, trying to figure out what she did to lose her friends.
Because she doesn't know that Claire's the one that sent these messages.
Apparently she cleared the history on that chat because...
I don't think she did. I think
Massey's just not scrolling up.
I think there's a plot point missing.
Yeah.
Loophole.
Yes. She gets Kristen to pick up her phone and talk to her about what's happening, and the girls piece together what actually happened using the timestamps on Kristen's IMs.
Ooh.
Yeah. That same day, Claire and Alicia, wow.
You called her Alysa.
I'm
just
stuck.
call her Alysa.
Sure, she's Alysa now. Are walking the rest of the way home. Claire's thinking about how the girls only like her because she tricked them into thinking Massey liked her, and then they are no longer friends with Massey. Alicia brings up a shopping trip, and when Claire hesitates, she offers to pay for Claire's share of the clothes, which is how Claire ends up with like a $700 outfit.
Yeah,
like
I don't think stuff is so expensive, and even at one point, because Massey couldn't go out with them because she had to stay home, they got her like a tank top, and it was $780.
Yeah, some like paper thin piece of like tissue.
Like, is it gold plated? Like, what's happening? It's sewn together with gold thread.
Right. Was it made by elves? Like, what happened?
Probably not.
Claire returns home after dark. She can see Massey sitting alone in her room. Claire rationalizes her choices by telling herself that she is really the victim in all this and that Massey started it and she is justified in doing what she's been doing to survive. Claire has a fight with her mom about not calling home when she wasn't going to be back straight after school, which I have been there.
Yes.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And she storms off to her room. Her phone rings later, and it's moments later, and it's Kristen asking her about her shopping trip with Alicia. After talking to her for a minute, Claire gets a call from Dylan, and Dylan catches Claire in a lie, and it's revealed that Claire was a victim of a 5-way call with all of the girls on the other line, including Massey.
Trying to do that Mean Girls trick.
Yeah.
Although this came out before Mean Girls.
It did.
But Mean Girls is based on the
Wannabes, right?
Yeah, Queen Bee and Wannabes.
Yeah. So the next day, we cut to the original clique is back together. They're discussing Claire's catfishing. And step by step, they are all together making their first batch of natural lip gloss in Alicia's kitchen. Massey's thrilled that she has her friends back and also has to refuse trying the new lip gloss because it contains nut-based ingredients and she's allergic.
Yikes fest. And I just love, like, things do, I think, move really quickly at that time.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, Massey was in, then she's out, then she's back in. Like, no wonder she has to do the current State of the Union so often.
It's changing like, every other day.
And she should probably get a blog so she can let other people know.
Gossip Girl style.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. All right, so Claire tried to pretend to be sick on the Monday the school field trip is going to the taping of All My Children.
Who watches that at that age? Does anyone watch that?
That was the soap opera that my mom watched, so me and my brother watched it with her. I mean, that's the one that also had Susan Lucci, who was nominated 19 times and only won once or something.
Aww.
Yeah, Susan Lucci is great. So she played Erica Kane. Oh, memories. So, but apparently they got a mom on the show. Maybe one of their moms is Susan Lucci. Maybe their dad's got a role.
An executive producer.
Yeah, maybe mom's executive producer or something. But it's interesting that is their field trip, is to go to a taping of All My Children. But hey,
whatever, private school.
I would be excited.
Yeah.
But she pretends to be sick, but her mom gives her a pep talk and drives her to school, and basically that's that. When she gets on the bus, there's nothing but insults coming her way from the clique, like, quote, Alicia, maybe you can buy Claire someone to sit beside, end quote, right? Like, so Alicia bought her the clothes, now maybe Alicia can buy her some friends. And Claire, I'd offer you a seat here if Dylan's fat legs didn't take up so much room, right?
Yeah,
she talked about the legs being fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they know everything, and they're letting her know. And Claire just wonders how she's going to make it through the day. And at that point, when I was reading, I was like, girl, same. I don't know how you're going to make it through this day either. Because there aren't any seats. The only seats open are by the clique, but no one dares sit there unless they have permission or an invitation. There's only one other spot. and it's with Lane,
who is also outcast right now.
Outcast from Massey, but...
And also her old friends, because she ditched them for Massey.
And Claire and Massey, Claire and Lane are not on good terms yet. So they sit next to each other because basically our teacher's like, sit down! He's like, get up! We can't leave until this happens. So as the bus hits the road, Massey grabs everyone's attention and they start selling Kristen's first Glambition product, clear lip gloss that comes in 4 flavors, including Alysa, Dylan, Kristen, and Massey. Ooh. I like that in the sense that it really is on brand. Like, if you want people to feel like they're outside of something, you say there's only 4 exclusive flavors and then name them after the 4 people in the clique.
Are you a Kristen or are you an Alysa?
Oh my goodness. I'm an Alysa, but I think out of all of them, I might... No,
I don't like any of them.
I don't like any of them. I was about to say Dylan, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Definitely not Massey. And Alysa, you might remember from the description, is one of the nastier ones with her insults. So I don't like that. So basically, she's trying to get people to buy Kristen's product and saying we have these 4 exclusive flavors today. There are going to be more products. But if you want to kiss boys like I do at that academy, that
Briarwood
Academy, then you need to get this. But Lane makes a comment about, like, that guy you're talking about is my brother and he has a girlfriend, but she either doesn't hear it or
everyone ignores it.
Yeah, exactly, because they're not listening to Lane anyways. And that might be why no one knew that Lane and Chris were siblings, because they act like they didn't know what Lane's last name was. And so I think that Massey at this point is still thinking that Chris is all about her, right? And so meanwhile, Claire and Lane chat about what's happened to them. After some talking and making promise to each other, they become friends again.
Aw, yay. I always liked Lane. She was like a cool, like, hipster before hipsters were a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm into that.
And people are just mean,
Yeah.
So they sell out of the lip gloss, but soon thereafter, many of the classmates start yelling about their lips burning and swelling, which is not a good sign. So apparently, like Massey, a number of the girls are allergic to the lip gloss that they forgot to mention has almonds in it.
Yeah.
Hello. So while the confusion is happening, Claire gets a text message that says, use Lane's oatmeal to solve the allergy problem because oatmeal is good for rashes. And sidebar is that Lane is made fun of because she eats oatmeal every single day. So that's one of the ways that people tease her is because... So
she brings oatmeal from home.
And so she has that oatmeal, right? And so they...
This is bad.
So they are trying to calm down the situation and get help to people. They'll give you the oatmeal, but you have to buy it. Which I was like,
capitalism.
Come on. Yeah, man. So Kristen thanked Claire for her help and says that she's glad she told Claire the secret and not Massey. Claire says she's sorry about what happened to her business, but Kristen turns around and went with her friends. So this is after they arrived to All My Children. So in first class on Monday, the clique is showing photos from Dylan's birthday party that happened over the weekend, and they're making fun of each other. So it's like, this is where the roasting is happening, right? Quote, massive... Nope. Massive. Good stuff. Quote, Massey felt an unexpected wave of warmth through her stomach as they were making fun of each other. She called it, quote, the feeling. It happened whenever she had a genuine, quote, I love these people sensation. It didn't come around too often, but when it did, it was so powerful it could actually make her tear up. End quote. I really liked that quote, so I wanted to keep it in there.
Yeah, cute, but like you're doing mean things. Friends.
Yeah, you're like, we're friends, but the rest of you can't be friends with us.
Right. The scholarship charity auction will take place at Massey's house on Friday, and Claire wants to make sure Lane goes. She does, and her brother Chris and his girlfriend will be there too.
Watch out.
Massey knows Chris is coming, and she only has 3 hours to get ready for the event. She spent a lot of time doing her hair and makeup, picking out her outfit, picking out the best shoes. She walks across the yard to the tent holding the party, and her shoes keep getting stuck in the mud. But she sees Chris, and she does her best to get over to him. She introduces her dog Bean and gives him his Yankee cap back that she took on the private trail days. He introduces his girlfriend, Fawn. Wait, what?
Like, oh, seriously, like, he never mentions his girlfriend until now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was she going to tell her friends? She tells them that Chris used to be cute, but he's not anymore because of a booger situation. Gross.
I like how that's like, everything's great, but then it's like, he had a booger. That's it. He's
done. He's dead to
me.
us. Burn it all down. Start over.
Yeah.
There are some other guys there, so the clique try to gain their attention by pretending to laugh about something.
That one.
Classic move.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And we're laughing.
And we're throwing our hair because we're beautiful.
We're laughing.
Don't you want to join us? Then they dance with the guys, and Claire and Lane are out dancing. When Claire watches Massey, she hopes to herself that she is more fun than Massey.
So when she's watching them dance, she hopes that she's
having more fun.
She's having more fun, or that she's more fun than they think Massey is. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like, do you want to be friends with Massey? Do you want to be better than Massey? Do you want to be Massey? Like, that seems to be what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
all roads lead to Massey.
Exactly.
Soon after the auction begins, Claire and Lane were going to leave, but Claire wanted to see some of the clothes. After all the appliances and such, they finally get to the clothes, and the outfit Alysa bought Claire is up for auction. Alysa confronts Claire and says that she bought the clothes and Claire could not sell them. But Claire buys the clothes with her savings, $600, and gives the outfit back to Alysa. And then the money goes to charity and not to Alysa.
Yeah, so I think she's like doing that because it's like,
we're gonna get around it. Like, Alysa doesn't need the money. Let's
need
be
money,
real.
but we call it even. You got the outfit back.
Yeah, and the money goes to a good cause.
Yeah, and you can take the clothes back.
Right. As the night goes on, the auction gets closer to their final goal. Claire and Massey's dads come out a little drunk, and they say they're going to sing 99 bottles of beer on the wall, and they won't stop until the goal is reached.
99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. And they're like, no thanks.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, hard.
They
no
sing
for me.
and then ask for their daughters to come on stage, but parents are so embarrassing. A universal experience,
yes.
apparently.
Everyone can bond over that.
Yes. Claire texts Massey to say, take cover, and the two girls hide in some bushes together, and they're in there for a bit. They start talking and joking for a little bit, too. Claire discovers Massey is the one that texted about the oatmeal, and they chat about TV shows, celebrity crushes, and more until the party ends 2 hours later. As they get up, Massey said, thanks for saving me. I had fun.
What?
Plot twist.
What?
Claire thought things might be different, but we'll wait to see on Monday.
Smart move.
Yeah. Hesitant optimism. I like it.
Yeah, that was quite a twist at the end there. Like, I was like, so it seems like in some ways they might have a lot in common, but they just don't. Claire doesn't have the same means as Massey, and she's also starting over in a new situation.
Yeah.
But they seem to have a lot in common about, like, wanting to have friends. So.
Yeah.
So what do you think this book says about friendship? What do you learn about friendship by reading this?
It puts female friendship in a very negative light that I don't appreciate. Like, it plays into a lot of the stereotypes, but I think that ending kind of breaks some of that down and says, like, look, we don't have to be this way. Like, this isn't how it has to be. And these stereotypes don't have to be true. We can find common ground with people that, quote unquote, aren't like the popular kids.
And I think I would agree that it does put the friendships in a negative light, and it's all the friendships, even Lane and Claire's.
Yeah.
You know, Massey and Lane.
So much
Massey
competition.
There's so much competition, and it's like, you know, I think that's something that young girls might learn, or that we just see in media, but might not actually be the case. And it's like, and we've said this before in the podcast, it's like, you're gonna probably do better in life if you support each other and help each other and lift each other up than putting them down. And that might, you know, in some cases that's a lesson people need to learn, because I think there's a lot of other things going on in middle school, right? Like, a lot of it is probably the main goals is fitting in.
Yeah.
You know, not being the one who's bullied and not being the bully. And so that might lead to bystanders, which we don't want that either.
No.
But like, I just think that a lot of cases that might be seen as survival. What can I do to survive these years in school?
Yeah, middle school was rough for me particularly. Like, I remember it being hard. So this was, and I think I read these during that time too. So I really identified with a lot of the stuff that happened. Was like, that was not an easy time for me in my life. And like, I grew from it. And like, obviously I do fine now. Yeah. But like, during that time, like, it really is true. Middle school years are hard for girls, especially, I think.
Yeah. Well, I also think like, it shouldn't have to be that way. Like, I don't feel like people should have to learn that lesson, because it's kind of like, well, if we know better, then let's do better.
Yeah, like, let's not even do it to begin with, and let's all be nice all the way through.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if being nice all the time is realistic, but it's still like, there's no reason to make fun of someone for wearing Keds or eating gummy worms at 9 a.m. or for having a friendship bracelet on, or, it's just like a ridiculousness, things that have been okayed by a certain someone, whoever that might be. Like, well, 17 magazine said that, or Vogue said this, and I think it does get at these, like, what will make you popular is the makeup you wear, the clothes you wear, and the people you hang around with, and it's like, there's more to all of us as people than those things. And if you're into Vogue and 17 and makeup and clothes, there's nothing wrong with that. But I imagine that there's a lot more to you as well.
Yeah, just don't want that to define you.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be, you're not known as just like I'm the makeup person. Like, there's other things that are going on. And there's certainly a lot of ways that you can make connections and make friends. And it doesn't just have to be through, well, she's wearing in-season clothes.
Right.
So it's like, having designer clothes doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be a good friend. I mean, clearly. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But I do think it's interesting, because I do think that Claire gets a lot of the brunt of, like, most of it, right? Her and Lane get the most from Massey and the Clique, in terms of making sure that they know that they're not, like, the four of them. Right? Like, and it's like, okay, they're not in your group, that's fine. Why can't you just be like, hey, or, like, why do you have to, like, say specific things that brings people down? But I do think what's interesting is that at a certain point, Claire starts doing things in which to sort of, quote unquote, get back at them.
Yeah.
So, like, lying about the male designer and them all doubling down on it.
Right.
Obviously catfishing. And she justifies it and says, well, I'm the one that was being hurt. And it's like, well, I agree, she was being hurt, and she was being bullied, or, being teased and that sort of thing, and just treated not well by these individuals. But does that say, well, that gives me a pass to catfish, right? Like, is that the way to handle it?
Right.
And so, I think that if her mom knew what she was doing, she would be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that if Massey did it, her mom would talk to her about it, but I don't know if Massey
I don't think it
would
would sink in.
Yeah, because the dads are kind of non-existent. Like, they're there, and I appreciate at the beginning that they're best friends, and that this friend is helping out another friend when they need to find a house, and so they're doing what they can. And so I appreciate that friendship, and that's carried through all the way to the end, where they're drinking and singing the song to gain money and that sort of thing. But it seems like more of the focus here is on the mothers, which might be because we're talking about girls here, and apparently, maybe moms are the only ones that can really, which I think maybe at a certain age there, you do want to talk to your mom over your dad, and some people might not have that option. They might be talking to aunts or grandmas or friends or siblings and things like that. And I just think that that's part of the issue, is that, like, Massey's main source of discipline comes from her driver. And, like, I think he tries really hard, but he's also not her parent.
No.
But even when she's like, Mom, don't matchmake, and I don't want to do this, like, it's like she doesn't actually listen to her mom or make any changes or anything. So she's not actually being disciplined for bad behavior towards people. And so I think that will continue to grow if her mom and dad and driver and maybe teachers even too can't, like, lock that in, or that she doesn't learn a lesson. Because I imagine those 2 times that she was alone by herself didn't feel pretty good. So, like, is there a way that you can translate that feeling you had to be sure other people don't have that feeling?
Right.
Right. And so I think that Claire, in this sense, she needs to figure out perhaps a different way to handle it. And I can understand at 12 being like, well, you did this to me, so I'm going to do that to you.
Right.
But I don't think that it just adds more problems, right? And you could see that happening. And then I think for Massey, that she would actually need to be disciplined for anything to change.
Right.
And so I think that kind of lends into the stereotypes that it's going to continue because the mom doesn't do much, right? Or when the dad doesn't do anything because he wasn't even written into it. And so I think that when it focuses on female friendships, what you see is that the only male friendships are easy and fun.
Yeah.
Todd's got like 12 friends, and he's funny because he throws raisins at people that he's dug out of a Raisin Bran box, and like, and he's making friends across ages, and within weeks he has 12 people over for a sleepover, and it's like, So it's saying, like, the boys' friendships are easy, the girls' friendships are hard, and they're supposed to be. And I don't think that needs to be the case.
No.
And I think they could have showed a lot more.
Yeah.
Other thoughts?
Yeah, it was strange to revisit because it's been a while. Like, these aren't books like that I've reread just because, like, they're a little bit younger than some of the other ones we did. So this is, it was interesting to dive back, and, like, it was interesting to just see, like, vibes from, like, my childhood coming back. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Like,
is there any PTSD, like, trauma?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad, though. Just some, like, incidents from, like, middle school. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's close to home.
Well, and I guess I shouldn't say, I mean, there are people that have diagnosed PTSD that are saying, but I just mean, like, it bringing up these feelings that you experienced when you're in middle school, like, reading it, I'm like, oh, that's like when I didn't get invited to Purple Shirt Day, and that was like when my kids got stolen, or
oh my gosh.
That's when in gym class people would shove you onto the hallway without clothes on. Like, I'm just like, can we get a lockdown on this stuff? Because it's like, I think it can truly do damage. And when you have people who are all trying to survive and all trying to be in the in-group, then it's like whatever they can do to maintain that in-group, and anything to maintain the out-group so that they don't go into the out-group. And so it's like bringing that out-group down, lifting themselves up in the in-group, and it's just like...
I forgot who said this to me. It was like, if you enjoyed middle school, you were making it hell for everybody else. Like, that's...
That's an interesting perspective and quote, because it'd be like, how many people did truly
enjoy middle school? Either very naive or like you were the one making it difficult for everybody else.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, I think it's very possible that there are people who are both bullied and bullies, right? Like, as part of the cycle. But that's interesting, because I didn't enjoy middle school, so apparently I was just a piece of sunshine for everyone, right? No, but I think at the same time, like, if we reflect on who we were at that time, in middle school, which are completely different timetables, right, for us, but at the same time, being that age, there's certain, like, common themes that we can come across and that we might be able to connect on, even though you're half my age, right? But it's like, if you think about that, it's like, what things did we do to maintain being in the out group, or being a bystander, or trying to get into the in group, so telling someone's secret, or gossiping, or making fun of someone, or laughing when someone made fun of someone, because we're just trying to protect our survival. And so it is really hard, I think, even as an adult, but at 12, to stand up to someone, to, like, how would you stand up to Massey? Can anyone stand up to her?
No, because Claire tried. She flat out called her a bitch, and it just bounced right off her.
She said she was acting like one. And then Massey turned it around and was like, she called us all bitches. Yeah, and so it's like, and the power of using technology there, I think, is interesting as well, because they used IMs, they used cell phones, they used Palm Pilots. No, just kidding. But the 5-way call, they did all these sorts of things. And so things that might not have been possible when I was a kid, like the IMs and stuff like that. And I think in some cases, if you think about the behaviors that happen at school among people, like, obviously Claire lived in this state where Massey lived, right? So in some ways you can't get away from it. But when I left school, I could get away from it. Yeah. Because there wasn't the online technology. I didn't have phones, that sort of thing. And I could just be like, if the phone rang, I could just be like, I can't talk. My parents won't let me talk until my homework's done. Right. I could just lie.
My mom's like, you can always use me as an out. Even as an adult, I don't care. You could just tell someone your mom said you couldn't go. And I'm like, Mom.
I can't go to happy hour on Friday because my mom says I can't go.
My mom says I'm busy.
I like it. But it's like one of those things, like, making it a better situation, but what can we do? And there's so much work that I think people do to try to make these situations better by studying these topics, studying this age group, getting into the schools, doing different things. Yeah. But it is very much like, what else can we do to help people, even if it isn't confident enough to speak up, it's confident enough not to participate.
Yeah, not to engage. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that you see is that, and then it becomes like a tit for tat. Well, she did this to me, well, and then she did this, and then they're insulting each other. How are you ever supposed to get out of that?
Right. It's a vicious cycle.
It's like a merry-go-round, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
The world's worst merry-go-round. That music's going to be in your head forever.
And then the music is just insults.
Oh, gosh.
Why are you wearing Keds? Oh, dear God.
Your
Will
legs
this
are too
ever
fat for
end?
mini skirts. Like,
I'm going to have to buy you friends. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So, I think that I enjoyed the book in terms of a quick read. I enjoyed the book that it brings issues to the dark side of interacting and creating relationships, because that's the thing is, like, 7th graders are just learning how to develop friendships, right? And I'm not good at it all the time, and they certainly might not be good at it at the start. And I think that, they need some assistance.
yes. You need an intervention. That Mean Girls intervention in the gym.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How many of you been personally
victimized by Regina George?
Everyone raised their hand. And Regina George raises her own hand. So I did like it because it introduces these ideas of the dark side and how we might be able to help people at that age, or even think about how that might apply now, because I think there might still be some common threads. And especially when relationships, especially female relationships, are placed in this expectation and competition sort of situation where they're expected to be catty and that sort of thing. I think that can continue into adulthood. And so I appreciate that. I also liked the book because I'm hoping, and now this is book 1, and I have book 2 upstairs, so I can read that this in the next week or so. And that they're knowing that there's 20 books, I'm interested in the growth of the characters and what that might be like. But it sounds like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it focuses more on the dark side of friendships throughout the entire series.
Yeah, because I don't think they ever really grow out of the cycle of, like, who's in, who's out, is Claire in, is Claire out, like, depending, like, oh, we're fighting over boys now, and it's like,
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I just wish that there was some ability to include that, but also include some things in which to grow from it. Like, so that there would be some growth from book 1 to book 20. You know what I mean? But I guess looking at the titles from the beginning, it makes sense. Dial L for loser. We're not getting... Yeah. So I just think that if it focuses only on dark side, then it might be something that as young people read it, like, that's what they'll... like pick up versus like learning some things from it. And I mean, everyone has consequences, but if you're not the one getting those consequences, then you don't probably care.
You never grow. Yeah.
So I don't like that. But I was hoping that they would grow. So
yeah, I don't remember how it ends. Like it gets like there isn't like a culmination book, but I don't remember. It's been years now.
Now I have to read all other 19 books.
Or you could just read the Wikipedia page.
Fine. But again, I do appreciate that we have books on friendship.
Yes.
I do think that it's realistic to assume that girl would have a crush on someone, that sort of thing. So, and I don't think he overran the book very much. And so I appreciate that. And that integrated with friendships. And it was used in dark ways and this, that, and the other thing. I just wish there was more positivity.
Yeah.
But the next book that I read, which is mine... I think that our main character is a strong positive force, but that the context is negative and leads to positive. And so it's my turn.
Yes.
So, it'll take like 20 minutes to read.
Drum roll.
It is. That's not a good drum roll. That was me like tapping my hands on the beat at the same time. We are reading the Nancy Drew Files. Case number 1. Called Secrets Can Kill, written by pen name Carolyn Keene. And it says, posing as a high school student, Nancy Drew goes undercover at Bedford High to investigate a series of minor thefts and stumbles into a sinister case of murder. Now, I love Nancy Drew. She's one of my all-time favorite fictional characters. Now, I know people at home are like, oh yeah, Nancy Drew. Well, don't get too excited, because this one came out in 1991. So we're talking about the cool, hip 90s versions, not the yellow bound books that are classics. And
the reincarnation.
Yes, the Alysa's version of it. The ones that I read as a kid. And I had all of them, or I bought all of them, and then we would take... and I would sell them to used books and get like the next one and that kind of thing. And then when I was in college and I worked at the library, I interlibrary loaned the entire series and read it from beginning to end, because we couldn't do our homework when we were working at the library. I think maybe we could do our homework. No, I think we could only read databases. So in the position I was in. So I just would interlibrary loan all the books.
Nice.
And so we'll get to some of the classic ones, I think, later on. But this is truly a representative of my childhood and kind of goes into my interest with mysteries. Like, those are my favorite books, suspense mysteries. And then, obviously, true crime. But this is fictional, but it kind of lends into that. Mm-hmm. And Nancy Drew was she was smart. She was talented. She was cool. And I think she paved the way for Veronica Mars a bit. And so, Kristen Bell being sort of the snarkier, outskirts kind of person, like the black sheep of the school. So someone who was probably bullied. Yeah. But Nancy Drew was pretty much liked by everyone. So get prepared for a love fest around murder.
Let's go.
Let's go. So that'll be the next book we do. And I'm super excited for Claire to get into some Nancy Drew.
Yeah, my only experience with Nancy Drew is the Emma Roberts movie that came out when I was a kid.
2007.
I loved that movie. I watched that over and over with my sister. So,
and since you brought it up, I'll say that I watched that movie and I talked about it with the podcast 33% Pulp. So if you want to know what we think of Nancy Drew, check out the episode where I guested on it. And it was so much fun to talk about Nancy Drew. And I do really enjoy Emma Roberts. I wish it would have come back as a continued series.
Yeah.
I just wish, like, sometimes I think when Nancy Drew, and we can talk about this more when we actually cover Nancy Drew.
Right.
But I feel like they either pick someone who's too young or too old to play her in, like, the screen, like, on TV or movies. And I thought Emma Roberts was perfect. Mm-hmm. I just wish it could have been, like, a series and not just a one-time thing. So, Claire, thanks for coming in. I mean, you just barely graduated, and you're here doing reading and doing work and scripting and, like, extra homework to be on the podcast.
I'm happy to do it. It's fun.
This will be perhaps the last Best Forevers that we record face-to-face for a while.
Yeah. Oh, sad day. Mm-hmm. No.
But I always appreciate you being on. And for those who are listening, I appreciate you listening to Best Forevers and for being part of the book club series. And if you have any books you think Claire and I should read, let us know. Is there
listener suggestions?
Yeah, I think, so we'll do mine, and then we'll do yours, and then the next one I think will be a listener suggestion. Yeah, so tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And so until next time, and you send us all those recommendations, remember that friendships aren't always dark. They can be light too, because without our friends, who would we be? Thanks for listening to Best Forevers. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and of course, share with a friend. Please be sure to follow Best Forevers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Best Forevers Pod, and I'm at Dr. Alysa Lucas on Twitter. You can always find the podcast webpage for more information at bestforeverspod.com, and share your stories of friendship by emailing me at bestforeverspod@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support the movement to love on our friends more, check out the podcast on patreon.com/bestforeverspod. Now, friends, check out this recommended podcast that you must get in your ear holes immediately.
Hey guys, my name is Tara.
And my name is Jessica, and together we co-host the podcast, Three Spooked Girls.
If you love the paranormal
or murder,
join us every Monday as we tell our listeners about a new spooky tale or true crime case.
We'll have a special drink recipe each episode picked out by me for you to enjoy while we scare the hell out of you.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever the hell else you listen to podcasts.
Come hang out with us and get your spooky on.